Hi, welcome. My name is Rebecca. Today I want to keep the conversation rolling about binge eating and struggles with binge eating. I know this doesn't affect most of you, but if you happen to be one of those people who's struggling with binge eating, this might be for you. And hopefully there's some nuggets in here that you might find helpful or just that you resonate with. And so maybe you don't feel so alone in your journey. I've been binge eating for a very long time, since I was a very young child. And now that I'm an adult, I've been carnivore for 3 years. I am still trying to rid myself of the last remaining bits of this binge eating. Now, carnivore helped tremendously, let me be so clear, to cut out all the cravings, like the physical cravings for non-carnivore foods, for all the carbs, the sugars, the processed everything. What a relief to not have that. That's been immensely helpful. And thankfully, it has meant that when I do binge on foods, I'm binging on nutrient-dense foods. Now, that has led to, some physical things that aren't the best, okay? Like, if you overeat, yeah, it's going to show up, right? We all know what I'm talking about. But all that said, carnivore was foundational for me to really and truly start working, for gaining awareness, I should say, that even carnivores can binge eat. I know there's some information out there, some people out there who think you can't overeat meat and fat, that your body's going to stop you long before you have hit your limit. I mean, I haven't found that limit. I put it to the test, okay? Like I've put away a lot of food on a consistent basis, and I was doing so honestly in the name of health and healing. I was like, oh, this is part of my journey. I need to keep eating, and maybe for a time I did. I did need to become fully nourished. I did need to, eat to satiety and maybe a little beyond, but I'm really pushing back on that one. No, I'm pushing back on that one. But for for the first, year and a half, 2 years of carnivore, I really was just kind of thinking, I need to become fully nourished. My body must still be missing something that it needs and isn't getting. And if I just eat enough, then it'll all kind of autocorrect, right? That didn't happen. I finally came to the realization that yes, even on carnivore, binge eating behaviors for me are still present. So I've been working on those since the start of the year, intermittent fasting in the sense that I don't eat after 3 p.m. At first I started with the 4 p.m. cutoff, but then I ate too much from 3 to 4 p.m. because that's kind of like my trigger window of when I would engage in those behaviors. So ending my eating at 3 p.m., great. I've nixed the habit of binge eating. I've nixed the behavior of binge eating, but have I really disconnected fully from the emotional weight, the emotional kind of coping that I was doing with binge eating? Ooh, okay, so that's where we're going to get into it. I'm going to get real honest with you guys. Because you deserve it. Because I deserve it. Because we all should be living in our truth and unabashedly sharing our full selves. So here we go. I've been so good and clean with my carnivore diet most of the year. No dairy, no anything. But I've been eating some things that I probably shouldn't. Mostly carnivore adjacent. All right, this is it. It's hard to get this out, right? Like, it's hard to admit things that we are not proud of, okay? That's what you're seeing here. So I have been, over the last maybe week or two, occasionally when I stop by Aldi, the grocery store, they have these logs of goat cheese. Okay, check. Carnivore ingredient. Wrapped in sugared blueberries. Not carnivore. Not carnivore at all. I've been eating those. I've been eating those. Like a half a pack in a day, or a few times like the whole pack in a day. And honestly, the last time I ate it, I just kind of ate it like dessert. I just plopped it on the plate. I did flick the extra blueberries off so it wasn't as much, so I could convince myself I'm still being kind of like, in line with my carnivore diet. But I was eating this little goat cheese with blueberries. And this has been coming up for me, right? Like at the point where I thought, I'm good on my binge eating. I haven't been binge eating. I've got this system in place, this treatment plan where I quit eating at 3, I'm unaffected. Well, during my eating window, if I'm still eating things that, I'm drawn to eat them, I'm kind of eating it compulsively. When I pick it up off the shelf at the store, like I feel that little twinge of like, ooh, this is not in alignment with what's great for me right now, but I'm doing it anyways. That's the binge eating behavior coming back in. So yeah, I'm only eating this little log of, very, it's all fat, basically, like this goat cheese. But why? Why did I bring that back in? Why did I let my guard down against myself and allow this? I got heartburn when I ate it. Nothing really too terrible otherwise, but like heartburn, I don't have that. That's not something I deal with on a normal carnivore diet. But why did it come back in? And here's the thing that I've learned in all this, personal growth, inner work kind of stuff that I've been doing, in addition to the physical, healing I've been doing with carnivore and lifestyle movement, hiking, weightlifting, things like that. I have also had to do the inner work, the personal growth. And every time that I'm about to let something go, I feel like it's got to come roar its ugly head again. Like, are you sure? Are you sure you want to let this one go? Because isn't it so great? So I wish I had the hindsight 2020. I'm not there. I'm still figuring it out. Straight up, yesterday in the grocery store, I bought 2 more logs of goat cheese. Why did I set myself up for success? I had this thought like 2-3 days ago that, I'm letting this creep back in, and this is a dangerous place for me because I know what sugar addiction has done to me in the past. And I know where binge eating behaviors or, just like eating behaviors that aren't great, whether it's eating excessively or not, it's eating something that I know is not going to help me feel my best. So why am I doing it? I think it's because I'm really at the point I'm about to let it go. It's about to be gone. Like, I'm going to lay this down and I'm going to be free of it. I choose that for myself. So it's come up. It's come up. And as it has come up, I've had to draw awareness to it. If I'm being present with myself, if I'm being real with myself, I can see that this isn't what's best for me. But I've somehow subconsciously brought it back into my life. Does this sound like self-sabotage? Because that's what it seemed like to me when I finally took that step back a few days ago and saw it. And yet, last night at the grocery store, I still bought more logs of goat cheese. So again, the self-sabotage is coming in. Why? Why am I doing this to myself again? Am I really wanting to stay stuck in this cycle continuously? I'm so close to breaking free. I've already nixed the habit, with my 3 p.m. window of cutting off my eating by 3 p.m. I've already nixed the habit. So like the brain's reliance on that for comfort and stuff, that's fading away. Why is it coming back in? I think it is because it is my spirit, my soul's way of saying, hey girl, how bad do you want it? Are you really ready to let it go? I know you've done good things in your life to, put it in its place and build some protective walls around it with these, rules, guidelines that I personally find helpful. May not be for everyone, but I have found it helpful. Why let that back in? And I think it is just truly my unconscious self trying to make sure that my conscious self really is committed. So I just admitted to you that I've got those 2 logs of goat cheese in the fridge. I don't know if I'm going to put them in the trash. I've got non-carnivores in my family that might eat it, but I really, guys, this is my personal level of accountability. I cannot eat that goat cheese, okay? I can't. I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it. You see me struggling with this decision? It's still calling my name in there. I've set myself up for self-sabotage. When you love yourself, when you deeply love yourself, you don't do that. You don't set yourself up for self-sabotage. So there is something in this that I still need to learn. There is some piece of self-worth that I still, on some subconscious level, do not feel is for me. And so that is where I need to put the focus. It's not about dumping the stuff in the trash. That might be a helpful step for helping me manage things in the physical world. But I think I've just got to figure out that last little part of me that is still, for whatever reason, holding out on the wholehearted belief that I am truly worthy of loving myself and accepting myself as I am. I also find it interesting that this self-sabotage comes on the heels of feeling really good physically and feeling like I am seeing the physical body composition changes I want to see. And this has happened to me many times in carnivore where, with the fasting and stuff that I've done in the past, like I've gotten down to a, body fat that looks and feels good. But every single time I've gotten, right down to that number that is starting to feel good, where I'm starting to really see, whoa, this is a big difference. This is an impactful change. I'm feeling good and confident, and I like the way I feel. Nearly every single time, that's when the self-sabotage kicks in. So this self-sabotage of getting, these blueberry sugary laden goat cheese rolls, those it's this last little bit. It's this last little bit. I'm ready to let it go. And I made a little video about the Lionsgate portal, and it's just, the alignment of the stars and the planet, where, there's just this powerful energy coming in to help us move into the next level. And I'm ready for that. And part of being able to move into the next level, to create this space to expand, to elevate, you've got to get rid of that which doesn't serve you. And this is that coming back, rearing its ugly head, and looking to see, how determined am I? How set am I that I truly choose to let this go? That I choose myself over that temporary feeling of comfort? That I choose myself over that, desire to numb out or to dissociate? Because I do. I use food to dissociate and to numb and to distract. It's been a protective, maladaptive coping mechanism for me for a long time. But I'm laying it down from my heart to yours. Let me tell you, this is my accountability post. No more of that. No more of that. I'm going to stick with the carnivore foods, stay on the straight and narrow for a good little bit until I kind of feel like I've gotten my bearings again. But I am leaving this binge eating in the past. I am leaving those patterns of thinking and behaviors that have led to, cultivated, and supported this binge eating in the past. Letting them go. Let them return to where they came from for healing. Because I'm choosing myself moving forward. I'm choosing to live in harmony with myself. I'm choosing to love myself fully. And that means I have to believe I'm worthy of love. That means I have to believe that I am worthy of living life in the vessel that feels best. That's what I'm doing here. This is a recent thing for me. I'm still working on it. It was only just a handful of days ago that I was eating those things that I shouldn't eat. And kind of feeling that pull. And honestly, I in gaining the awareness that that's what I was doing, using these maladaptive eating behaviors to soothe emotions, I felt a little scared. I felt a little bit of fear. Like, oh no, am I going to slip back into this? I've made so much progress. Am I really going to go backwards? And so I kind of let that fear spiral a little bit of, oh no. I didn't conquer this like I thought. I'm not powerful enough to conquer this. And then I stopped myself and I said, no, that's not true. We're not going to choose to believe those old paradigms and patterns. I'm going to choose that I'm leaving this in the past. It's not up for debate. I'm going to choose that I get to love myself. I'm going to choose that when I have hard emotions, when I have feelings that make me want to numb out, distract, or distance myself from others, I am worthy of the love that I can give myself to sit with those hard feelings until I can transmute them, learn the life lesson, take the silver lining, get that little nugget of gold out of the middle, journal about it, and then move on with my life. That's where I am. That's what I'm trying to do. So, have you been struggling lately? Have you let a few things into your, way of eating that are not in alignment with the way that, the way that eating that makes you feel your best? Are you struggling at all? I have been recently, and this is my commitment, my accountability post to right the ship myself and get back on the course that is going to take me towards my destiny. I'm not going to let binge eating hold me back anymore. I'm not going to use it to keep me from experiencing the vulnerability that is necessary to connect with others, and to feel joy. It is our birthright to feel joyful connection and love with others. Goodbye, binge eating. All right. That sums it up. That's what I needed to say. If this resonated with you, if little parts or pieces kind of stuck out to you, especially anything around like the vulnerability and self-preservation, self-protection stuff, I feel like that's really core to a lot of people. It took a while for me to kind of distill down the reasons behind my binge eating to understand that it was really me protecting myself from vulnerabilities. Do you see that in your life? Have you felt that? And how does it show up for you? Because not everyone binge eats, okay? And most carnivores probably don't binge eat. My personal story and message probably only hits with about 8% of you. Probably, maybe less. But if it does, I might be your person. I might be one of the people that you need in your life and you just don't even know it. So let me know in the comments. Like, subscribe if this feels like your jam. If not, totally cool. Keep cruising. Find something else. There's definitely something out there for you that holds the message you need to hear. But if this happened to be it, I would love to hear it in the comments. I would love to know it. And I would love for you to join the Carnivore Wellness community. It's as simple as putting in your email on an email list. So link below, carnivorewellness.kit.com. Put in your email. I will send you a weekly email that contains the free Zoom link for you to click and join. Small group of us hang out every week and talk and support each other and offer words of encouragement and love and, reflect back to each other what it is we're all going through. And we find a lot of humanity in our shared experiences. So if that sounds something that might be, wholesome, helpful, healing, supportive for you, you are invited to be in that space with us. All right. That'll do. I love you. I hope you love you. You do love you at your core. You do love you. And in doing so, you will find the freedom and experience the freedom that you deserve.